Hello and welcome to a brand new show under the Peter Bealey Experience, and this is going to be the new Q&A series. And for our very first guest, we have got all the way from Glasgow, Scotland, Graham Gordon. Graham is a multi-talented musician, artist, you name it, he can do it. And today, Graham is going to be telling us all about his wonderful clothing collection. So, hello, Graham.
Hello, Peter. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Thank you very much for inviting me onto this.
My pleasure. What's the weather like up there today?
Absolutely roasting in Glasgow.
Yeah. What's that, about 10 degrees?
Yeah, that's taps off already, you know. So, yeah, it's been absolutely boiling. Got a wee bit of heat today, so looking quite red.
Yeah, well, you know, it's looking good. It's the same down here as well. It's been absolutely beautiful today.
Amazing.
Yeah. So Graham, with the show, what I'm gonna do is I've put 10 questions together that will hopefully cover everything about how you got into the clothing, and then we can actually look through your beautiful collection. So without further ado, we'll start with question 1. So who or what gave you the initial inspiration for your interest in the whole 60s fashion thing?
Well, I was born in 72, so when I was about 13, which was 1985, I started getting into music and started getting into bands like The Who and the Small Faces, and buying these records and just staring at the album covers for hours and getting really into what these guys were wearing as well as what they sounded like. So yeah, that was a real big inspiration, and it was a completely different look at what was about on the street that day, because I was getting into the sort of mod look of things, and yeah, everybody else was sort of fading away in 1985 and not being a mod, so I got a lot of gear from a lot of people, and I get really into that sort of different look, you know, that I could do with a school blazer as well.
So back in those early days then, was there a lot of scorn heading your way for your chosen attire?
Was there what, sorry, Peter?
Were you getting a lot of, abuse is maybe, scorn, yeah.
Yeah, I was that guy that looked a bit different when I was walking down the streets, you know, while everybody else was getting into Galini tops and stuff like that, you know, and I was getting sort of 60s fashion, you know, and I'm sort of still looking cool, individual, stylish, and just standing out, really. There was a few of my friends. I had a friend that was a skinhead, one was a goth, one was a punk, and I was the mod guy.
Brilliant. So within your peers then, were you the only mod guy then? So
there was only a few of us left in 1985, so
yeah.
What I started going into Glasgow city centre, and we actually had a cavern shop in Glasgow, the one they had in Carnaby Street.
Yeah.
I used to be able to get like dogtooth hipsters in there and stuff, but I was also looking for more sort of 60s authentic stuff.
Yeah.
So you would start going around the markets, basically, you know, looking for that, something that was a wee bit different.
You've gone ahead of me again. You already know what I was going to ask in my second question, because basically I was going to say, back then when you started, where were you finding your clothing?
Well, yes, second-hand shops, Saturday markets, the Glasgow Barras market. We used to meet up there, and I would meet other mod people as well, going through records, going through clothes rails.
Fantastic.
And yeah, and sort of started getting into a wee crowd, and I would go and meet every Saturday afternoon, and we'd all walk around town with our dogtooth suits on and getting records, second-hand records. I'm going, check that guy's jacket, look at those trousers. How can I get those trousers? You know, and eventually finding like a small tailor in Glasgow where you could like get stuff made quite cheaply.
The one, because our time spans are pretty similar, because you obviously became more interested in it than when I did. I was more 16, 1984. But I look back now, it's like with the music back then for me and the clothing back then, it was a lot safer. And I think those clothes rails that I looked through back then, there might have been stuff that I would have dismissed that I would have absolutely loved. Now, you know, the more kind of later 60s kind of.
Yeah, because I was into the earlier 60s stuff.
That's right, yeah.
Arch suits. There was a lot of like flower power stuff I just went by and
yeah,
you know, it took a few years.
That's it. That hindsight's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
It is.
Have you got, you know, from back then, you know, which is a hardcore really. Is there a favourite find from back then?
Yeah, well, me and my friend Julie Robertson, who's a big collector as well, I think she's on our page too. Her and I used to go around all the second-hand shops and find things. So she would find things for me, and I would find things for her. And I still got some ones that I got when I was, you know, back as a teenager. Like this is one of my favourite ones. This one here.
Oh,
you know,
wow!
It's a lovely double-breasted one.
Oh yeah, you can see it a lot better as you're nearer to the camera. That's beautiful.
A grey, red, and black.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yes, and that still fits me like a glove. I can still get into it.
Perfect.
There's a label inside there. Can you see that?
Yeah, Fox. Yes, yeah.
Of London, but I picked that up in Glasgow. You know,
that's amazing. Graham, going back to that jacket. What's the detailing on the back? Has it got vent or?
The back.
Yeah, lovely. Oh yeah, what is it like? Pleated back vent. Yeah, that's lovely.
Back vent rather than an open one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It looks brand new.
I know. I do wear all my stuff, you know, but I do rotate them so they all do get an airing. But I do try and look after them quite well.
Before we go on to the next question, a bit of an anorak one. With regarding your clothing, how do you store it? Do you put it in, like for me, I have all my clothing in individual bags, you know, to keep the moths away.
Exactly. I'm always worried about the moth thing, you know. Yeah. So, but I regularly go into the cupboard as well. So some of them I have in bags and some I don't, you know. But all the sort of the better ones I keep in the bags.
Yeah. Brilliant.
I mean, garment obviously like 50 years old, you know, and you've really got to sort of look after it a wee bit.
Definitely, like ourselves. A bit like ourselves, Graham. Not that you're at that age yet, but I certainly am. The next question for you then, Graham. Have you ever ventured into the world of bespoke tailoring, which is most probably a stupid question? Yeah,
well, going back to like the mod thing as well, when I was younger, I couldn't really afford the stuff too much. So once I got into the working world and got some money behind me, it's one of the first things I did is I used to get like suit mates. There was a guy in Glasgow called Robert Dick. I think he's still trading, and he made suits for like Sean Connery and stuff.
Oh, wow.
So he was a really good tailor, and I was wanting to get really good tailoring, and I've still got quite a few of those really sort of detailed mod suits, you know, with the covered buttons and you know, and a flare and extra secret pockets inside and stuff.
Fantastic.
So for years I went to, I was getting expensive stuff made, but then I ended up having a flatmate who, she was a seamstress, and she actually made clothes for Cooler Shaker back in the early 90s.
Oh,
so
wow.
I used to be the model for Crispy and Mills. I used to like try on all his gear, and then they would all get shipped off to him.
Brilliant.
But she used to make me clothes, and I used to get the sort of like things that didn't quite work, you know.
So basically what you're saying is Crispy and Mills was wearing your second-hand clothing.
That's it.
Fantastic. That's brilliant. So I
love to go into the tailor and just having that, making every suit a wee bit different.
Yeah.
You know, I got on to like really trying to recreate 60s stuff as well, you know, and like, you know, going to, you know, just like different belt loops and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a lovely detail.
Like details in the pockets with steps on them.
Yeah.
Going down and just trying to make every piece unique.
Yeah. With you.
Then,
No, sorry. Carry on.
So like And from then it went on to like other suits, you know, where I got like more the later sort of 60s sort of look, more like a dandy fashion thing, you know, where I just haven't had one of those yet, those granny take a chips jackets yet.
Yeah, the thing is, it's kind of like eventually it comes, you know, it's you'll most probably get one, and then you'll like a bus, you wait for one, then they all turn up.
So what I tried to do is recreate them.
Yeah.
You know, with my suits and jackets and stuff, you know. So I mean, this is a beautiful suit here. This is I actually got these two made together. These got made when I went to India for a trip. So, and you can see the detailing in this one with the epaulets there.
Yeah, lovely Nehru collar.
Yeah, covered buttons.
Yeah.
This is actually cashmere, which is gorgeous. You can see that in the luxury cashmere. And yeah, it's got a beautiful lining.
Oh yeah, the lining's lovely.
It's gorgeous.
Graham, can you bring that closer to the camera to show the people the lining?
You've got like
patch pockets. Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah,
you know, and tailor made. It fits like a glove, like it's meant to do. You know, but this one, you know, the more sort of Indian style with the pockets halfway down.
Yeah.
I was having, instead of slanted ones, you know, some straight pockets.
Yes.
Yeah,
so,
and then there's a couple of flaps at the back.
Yeah, double back vents. That's lovely. Absolutely beautiful. Graham, from measuring up and choosing the fabric, how long did it take before you had them?
Well, that was a good one, actually. I actually got those two suits made, 2 shirts and a couple of other pairs of trousers, and the guy took 3 days to make them all.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
I think he had a proper stock going on. The whole family were at it, I think.
Can we have a look at the Dandy Fashions one that's hung up? Yeah.
Well, this is what I was trying to recreate, you know, with the velvet lapel on it, you know, also velvet on the pockets.
Yeah.
Velvet buttons.
Yeah.
I went for a wee pocket up here. I thought, why not?
Yeah.
A lovely lining inside it as well.
Do you know what, Graham? Can you hear me? Why don't you put it on for us? Yes, yeah. That's it. Look at that.
It is gorgeous, actually.
Oh, perfect. Absolutely stunning.
It is. It's absolutely just that one. Wee bit of a bum freezer. It could have probably been a wee bit longer, I must say, to the normal true style. But that was my feeling in that. But yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous.
But that's a good excuse for your next one, Graham.
Exactly, Peter.
So
I see the. Yeah, on you go.
It kind of relates to what we've just been saying. What's your favourite outfit, would you say?
Well, that one's a cracker, actually. Yeah. I like wearing the jacket just with a lot of black trousers.
Yeah.
There's actually trousers that go with that, which has got some nice detail in it as well. Again, with the belt loops, I made them in velvet.
Yeah.
And the back pocket as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's got a nice bit of detail at the bottom here with I put a split at the bottom of the trousers.
Like yeah.
I put a velvet part in there as well. Yeah, it's a strange material. It's quite stretchy sort of stuff, you know, but yeah, that's quite an outfit, but it's quite an outfit to wear all in one. You know? Yeah. So it's one or the other, I think, sometimes. One of my favourite ones, it's a bit of a classic style, is the just a very simple black velvet jacket by Mail by Paul.
Oh yes, yeah, I can see that now. Classic make. My personal favourite of the Carnaby Street boutiques.
Yeah, it is, and it's quite lightweight. You know, it's sort of sporty sort of style, but it feels great on as well. You know,
beautiful, and it's double back vents. Yeah, beautiful.
Really as well, you know.
Graham,
it's got a small, which I've actually got a matching shirt and.
Oh yeah, that's a lovely touch. Graham, with vintage velvet jackets, one thing that I've experienced, sometimes you get a bit of wear around the elbows.
Yeah, definitely.
How's that jacket? How's the wear?
Like mint, that jacket. That was an eBay purchase actually.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like absolutely pristine. There's absolutely nothing wrong at all. I was expecting, you know, are we burning it from a fag or something like that, you know, we put pinhole somewhere, you know, but it's absolutely perfect.
Brilliant. And when you put it on, it looked as if it was just made for you, which is fun. You know, there's nothing. It's so frustrating. When you buy it.
An average Joe body, you know. I still get the 15-inch neck size and 30 waist. I still had when I was 20.
Brilliant. That's you can't ask for more than that. Right, on to my next question. If you could own any garment of clothing from the past, what would it be? And that can be a suit, but but just one particular.
I mean, there's some of those jackets like Status Quo would wear and stuff like that, you know, were absolutely. I mean, I'd love one of them. But there's a John Entwistle top that he used to wear, a sort of green one. I've tried to look for the picture of it, which I'll try and find and post up later. But he's got this lovely green sort of Indian smock style top thing. Like John Entwistle, amazing clothes actually.
I think I know the one, because I think I can visualize the picture where he's wearing it. I think it's in America. But
they're going through the slightly very psychedelic periods of the
maybe
massive big sort of black on green sort of thing. Beautiful picture, and we'll post it up.
That's what I was just going to say. When I share this onto the page, if you can get a picture and put it on the comments, that'd be great. Okay then. Have you got a certain person that you could single out as your biggest inspiration, or that could be a band?
Well, I think being a massive Who fan, Roger, his clothes were always incredible. Being the front man of the band and stuff, he always looked the part. And some of his clothes are amazing. I actually got to meet him quite a few years ago, and one of the first things I'd asked him was, "What'd you do with all your gear?" You know? And he said, "Oh, it's in a box in a loft somewhere." And I'm like, "Oh my God," you know. So it's still about, and I'm sure John Entwistle's family have probably got a lot of his clothes as well.
Wow, that's that. You know, like if we could find out their addresses, there might be a game plan there for the future. That's brilliant, because the Who, using them as an inspiration, you know, like right through their tenure, you know, through the 60s, they always look so cool.
I feel as if I've sort of followed them over from their tough mod look when they were, you know, 1963, 4, right into their sort of, well, I haven't quite got into the long leather stuff like that, the Dolce gets, but I can take him up to about 67, 68.
Yeah.
But his style, wears it well, he looks good, and he's just, great hair as well.
Oh yeah. Apparently though, he had to iron it, didn't he? That's what I've read. They didn't have the hair straighteners back then.
Exactly. But I mean, then, as I say, I used to study those pictures of their haircuts and their clothes and, you know, guitars and everything, and just was like, I need to have all this. This needs to be in my life, you know.
Yeah.
So, been a passion from a teenager that I still absolutely love. I mean, there's nothing better than getting a new record and a new top and a new thing, and it's being into a style like that. It's really enjoyable getting into a style and like finding your own angle on things as well.
Because I think like now, say, like, well, for us obviously in the 20th, but now the 21st century, I think one of the beauties of now is that you can mix and match. You can wear, say, a pair of trousers that could have been more 64, but then a jacket that's more 67. You know, because
I remember like I used to like be very strict. It had to be vintage, you know. And then I started going to like rallies in the 90s in Italy, where one of my friends had moved out there. And the colours that they were wearing at all these sort of like mod rallies, I just blew my mind, because I was wearing like military colours, like greens, navies, blues, greys.
Yeah.
So I went over to Italy, and the guys are wearing red trousers and yellow shirts, and I'm like, oof, this is the next part of my adventure through the style.
See, the for people that might not know, you mentioned rallies. Can you kind of describe what you mean by rallies to people that might not understand?
Yeah, they're like almost like a wee sort of 60s convention where people can go and like meet other like-minded people, share their records, their clothes, and their passion, and just talking about it and realizing that you're not the only one. There's loads of us out there that are into it, and I've got some great ideas and stuff, you know, as well. So yeah, I've been passionate about going to these things like the new Untouchable stuff since I was a teenager, you know, because they were very hard to find places to go and listen to that kind of music. Like I'd have to get that mega bus from Glasgow down to London for the Mousetrap, you know.
Yeah.
And it's a killer 12-hour bus, you know, but we used to do it all the time.
Even more of a killer on the way back.
Yeah, yes. Bit of struggling that one, yeah. But what we used to just stay up all night and get the bus at 7 o'clock in the morning as we came out of the club.
Yeah.
So we just sleep home.
Yeah. That one thing that's quite extraordinary that I think for the viewers out there, I've known Graham for about say 10 years, but we would have most probably rubbed shoulders at clubs in London in the 90s, or at some, or some of the new Untouchable mod rallies. But you know,
especially when I'm posting up photos from back then.
Yeah.
There's people in the background that I now know really well that I didn't know at the time at all.
Well, one of them are good examples. There's a picture of you in Scarborough, and my lovely wife Susie's in the background.
There's quite a few people, you know. But yeah, it just takes time to get to know these people, and you know, you keep going to the same rallies and stuff, and it's hard to get around everyone, Susie, so it took a while.
Susie's actually out. She's out of view at the moment. She's trying to keep out of our limelight, so to speak. Okay, then here's a good one for you, I think. Question 7. You're given the power to travel back in time, and you can shop in only one boutique. Which one would it be?
For me, straight away, it's got to be Granny Takes a Trip.
Okay.
You know, I'd love to have seen that, you know, and been in that shop. And okay, I probably wouldn't be able to afford anything, but I'd love to have just gone in anyway, you know. But yeah, there's some of those jackets and stuff are just like out of this world stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I will eventually own one.
Yeah.
Not quite. Like I say, I'm waiting for all those buses to come.
It's kind of like for the people that are watching that might be new to the Psychedelic Clothing for Men Facebook page. In recent weeks, there's a gentleman called Nicky Panicki that's been posting some of his collection, and it's like you're still waiting for your first Granny Takes a Trip garment, and this guy's literally got hundreds.
Yes, I know. It's unbelievable. His collection has been out of this world, and it all looks pristine as well.
Yeah. And he's a really, really nice fellow, and also he knows the history as well. He kind of, which I always find, you know, it's nice when someone's wearing something from back then, but kind of understands what it's about.
His collection is to die for, I must say. It really is.
Yeah.
And it must have taken years to get to that point as well.
And that's always an important factor as well, Graham. It's like, you know, we've both been collecting for over 30 years, but sometimes
you know. And I was relentless in the second-hand shops, like constantly going through circuits of Glasgow, trying to beat somebody else to it before the dealers got in there. So as I say, I've got some nice pieces that I've sort of kept well over the years, and I still wear them all the time. I'm getting modern stuff made as well constantly. I've got a beautiful one, a girl in Glasgow, Momo, who's making stuff.
Yeah, I've had some things made by Mobo.
A gorgeous wee one, you know, a lovely fastener at the back as well.
Beautiful braiding.
Yeah, it's lovely. I found the braiding in an Asian shop in Glasgow, and I thought I'm going to get a top made just out of that.
That's brilliant.
So I got lovely black silk, and it's got nice splits at the side as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, gorgeous. I mean, she's great. You know, really good quality.
And I've in the past myself, I where I live in Derby and also Leicester, where my family are from, there is a large Asian population. So I've often gone into their more traditional shops and picked up some really nice bits through the years.
Find some lovely paisley patterns that you can make caftan like that out of, you know, and it's quite cheap, you know, as well. Yeah. And it's just having a wee bit of balls just to go into these shops and just go, right, what can I get? You can always get a good stare from people, you know.
Yeah, I've had that.
But again, there's people sourcing lovely stuff now and making caftans, and I think like the guy from Dream Dragon shirts, Dream Dragon, that's like recreating these sort of caftans.
That's beautiful.
I love the tassels at the bottom.
Oh yeah.
I think this one was called the Persian King or something, you know.
That particular kaftan, it really reminds me of the kaftans that Irving Sellers was making around about 67 with the tassels on the bottom. Very similar.
Very similar. Nice big flared cuffs and all that as well.
Does Dream Dragon have a label? Has he got a label, Graham?
Here we go. I'll just give you a little thing.
Oh yeah, it's really cool.
It's a cool wee dragon.
Yeah,
he's doing some great stuff just now, and I'm not sure. I think he's getting it from Iran or something like that. Some of this cloth, you know, but it's really nice stuff, you know. So it's good to see that someone's doing stuff as well as I'm still buying vintage stuff when I can find it, you know.
Yeah.
Like, some nice shirts and stuff. Here's a great find I got. One of my favourite ones. It's quite a simple little cotton shirt, but it's got a lovely. It's got a wee label on it there.
Oh yeah. You might have to come a bit closer, Graham. Oh yeah, I can see it now. Flare, yeah, it's lovely.
Gorgeous. It's just dead simple, but lovely patterns on it. A bit soft and quite thin now, so I've got to look after that.
Is that cotton, Graham?
Cotton, that one, Peter, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's another one I got made out of fabric from an Indian shop, you know, because this is, you can check the collars on this one.
Oh, yeah. That's fantastic.
And I went with, sort of double buttons. It's like a tunic top. So it, with we've got double cuffs here at the bottom as well.
Cuffs, yeah.
And this is like, it's like a lighter cotton, you know, and like.
Yeah, I love the back of the collar. That's lovely.
And a pleats down the back as well.
Yeah.
This is where I was starting to design my own stuff and really taking it to the extreme, you know, and like making those collars huge and, you know, putting a wee angle on them as well.
Yeah. So when you were when you started designing your own, Graham, were you using because for the people that don't know Graham, and I don't want to embarrass Graham because he's a very humble guy, but he's an amazing artist. So would you actually draw your ideas and present them?
Yeah, dude, that's exactly what I would do. I would draw it all out and measure it, and know exactly how big, you know, the cuffs are going to be, how big the bottom of the trousers will be, and how long I want the belt loops to be, you know, so I can fit like a 2-inch belt onto it, you know.
Yeah.
And how low is the zip going to be, you know, so you can get that real hipsters look, you know.
Yeah, brilliant.
Like a Tip on it, you know. And it becomes quite...
My question 8, it's pointless now, because what I was going to say, how do you find your clothing in the 21st century? And you've almost...
Well, I've mentioned a few, like Francois, he's been brilliant. He does a lot of good sourcing of stuff from America and brings over, like, and again, some lovely original kaftans, you know, gorgeous things.
Oh, yeah.
Brass buttons on them and stuff.
To the viewers out there, Francois, a gentleman that's got a vintage shop in Camden called Vintage Clothing, and he finds amazing garments, doesn't he, Graham?
Yeah, I was talking to him to yesterday. He was showing me that, I don't know if you saw it, the John Stevens shirts that he had.
Oh yeah, similar to the shirt you've got on.
It looks quite similar to this, yeah, and that's what he said. But it's not, but that shirt is to die for. Turns out he's not selling it.
Oh, that's a shame. And I just being reminded by Susie, it's vintage collection, not vintage clothing.
That's it. So there's people about. There's also Casper as well, yep. And then we've got, I recently got shirts from Paul Mansfield. He does, I can't remember his, God, I'll need to tag it. Yeah, I got this lovely shirt off him.
Oh,
original
that's beautiful.
One. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Is it satin or silk?
I'd say it was silk.
Yeah.
Maybe, no, it's not, it's satin.
Satin, yeah.
Yeah, and it's got lovely sort of cuffs like this.
That's fantastic. I can imagine Status Quo wearing that in 1968 while performing Technicolor Dream.
Exactly. You know, but they probably had one in every different colour.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm still getting stuff off of people, and people. I think it's being bold and saying, "What have you got? And can you help me?" There's a dealer in Glasgow that I've been going to for 30 years called Mr. Ben. Marianne and Robert in there who own the shop have always looked out for things for me and went, Graham will like that, yeah. So
that's always handy if you've got people that look out for you like that.
Definitely, because it is getting harder to find these things.
Do you have you ever used an auction? You ever bought anything via an auction house? I'm not talking about like Etsy or eBay, you know, like a proper bona fide auction.
I haven't been to any of those ones yet, Peter, because being a bit of a musician, I end up spending a lot of money on guitars and stuff. Yeah, I can't afford it all, but I'd love it, you know.
Yeah.
But I might have a guitar or a liver.
Well, one of the beauties of the 21st century with these auction houses now, you can bid via your computers, so you can look, but it's I remember looking in on an auction late last year, and there was quite a bit of Beatles stuff. And
yeah, I remember.
And it's frightening because your finger wants to press some buttons, which could put you on a remortgage. Yeah.
The idea is don't drink wine when you're on these things.
That's right. Yeah, very true. Okay, we're down to the last couple of questions.
Okay.
So number 9, shoes or boots?
I've got a lot of boots, but I've also got more shoes than my wife. So it's shoes for me, Peter. And here's a favourite pair, lovely good psychedelic pair of shoes.
Oh wow, I've seen them in real life. They're fantastic.
Standing, no, there's not a chisel toe on them. It's actually quite a rounded toe.
Yeah.
A later 60s sort of look, you know. Yeah. I love the lacy. This was a guy I knew had these made. I think he was trying to make them like a pair of sort of Ronnie Lane type shoes.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, like, because I think they got theirs in Toppers, didn't they, on Carnaby Street?
Yeah, that's them.
Yeah, they're lovely. And they're in great condition.
It's got to be shoes, I'm afraid, yeah. The shoes are, you can put more styles and detail on these things. There's some lovely vintage ones you can buy.
You're a man of my own heart there with regard, I'm a shoe man, 100%. And
you can tell about
and the last question, I think I've saved the hardest till last.
Okay.
You've got to choose between a rare garment or a rare record.
Ooh. And you're talking to a musician here as well, so
Yeah.
I do like my records. Yeah, it's got to be a piece of. I'll go back to the Granny Takes a Trip. Jackets or something like that I would love. You had a lovely blue one yourself that you posted just a couple of days ago, the one that Ronnie had in red.
Yeah, that was a take 6.
That take 6, that was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Really. So, but yeah, I think it would have to be one of those amazing things that, like if you go into an auction and like maybe get one of those ones that was owned by somebody.
Yeah.
I like the 60s pop art, just so you have a wee bit of provenance with it and stuff, and and it's like owning a piece of the history.
I'm pretty sure, Graham. It'll come for you. It'll fall in your hands. Before we finish, Graham, like you've got a lovely rack of clothing behind there. So would you mind showing us what we've got? A few of the pieces.
One of my favourites jackets is this gorgeous thing.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and it's like I'll just walk right up to the camera so you can see it.
Yeah.
And it's like satin Nero collars, satin buttons, and a sort of greeny, shiny gold material. Yeah. And it's pockets on the sides, huge big pleats in the back. But this one, I'll stick this one on because it fits like a glove, this one. I think this was an eBay purchase. I actually saw an advert for this one where it was a man wearing it and it was like an advertisement. But I think it was actually a 60s porno mag.
Wow.
I know.
Incredible.
That's a different collection, Peter. We'll talk about another day.
Yeah.
But this one is gorgeous. I'm afraid the lining is gone in this one a bit. I thought it was the moth that got it, but it's just falling apart, really, you know. So there's a wee bit of stuff comes out, but yeah, this is just beautiful. I've just got to get my hand in the right bit of the lining so I don't rip it even more. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This is gorgeous. This one.
Yeah. I have to admit, I've seen you wear that jacket before, and I have admired from afar.
It's gorgeous. This one, it really does. It's one of my favourite ones. Other things on the collection, some fave shirts, really. You know, so again, when people were recreating 60s ones, Peter, you might recognise this one.
I do. That's from my old clothing collection.
I think there's a label under there too.
Oh yes.
There we go. Yeah, I still wear that one a lot. That's got nice covered buttons on a shirt, which you don't see that often.
Graham, what kind of cuffs did that one have? Was it with the matching cufflinks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, a nice wee touch, makes it a wee bit different. But a great cloth. I mean, that's fantastic cloth, that one. That was that was one of those. And then another vintage one was found in a second-hand shop. Gorgeous thing. Yeah.
That's lovely.
It is just lovely. It's a sort of powder blue.
Yeah.
Sort of neck on it there.
What?
And then that sort of fastens at the back here.
Oh yes, yeah.
Actually, Velcro.
Oh wow, I've never seen a Velcro one before.
Velcro with a little button there as well. So this has got like double cuffs on it as well.
Brilliant.
And that could be worn out or in.
Yeah.
I tend to wear it out actually.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah.
Even though there's the gap here, I think it still looks great.
Yeah. More comfortable as well.
Pardon?
Me personally, I find when I wear tunics out, they're a lot more comfortable than when
here's a lovely shirt and tie combo.
Oh
here.
yeah.
Now this one has got like pearl buttons all the way down it as well.
Yeah, I can see them now. Yeah.
Tie to match, and
Looks in wonderful condition.
Is, yeah, and it's quite an embossed sort of like material. I've seen somebody wearing a purple one of these once. Again, there is a label, but if anyone knows that. But...
Yeah, I know Peter that I used to run the club with. He's got one. He's got the purple one.
Ah, I knew I'd seen somebody with it.
Yeah, and I think I might have a photograph. If I can find it, I'll share it on the thread as well.
And last one on the rack, Peter. Again, it was a friend, another fellow musician, Lavinia Blackwell. She made this one for me as well.
Oh yeah, that's lovely.
And
beautiful
I was
colour.
The Perfumed Garden one as inspiration in this one, and got some covered buttons on that as well.
Brilliant.
Yeah, double cuff with matching.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, that one's lovely as well.
And what fabric is that, Graham?
That was a Liberty fabric, that one.
Okay.
Just bought that. That was like a modern Liberty.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they've done quite a few of those. And I think last one on the rack is another jacket, and it matches the one I had earlier on.
Oh wow!
Again,
yeah.
This is in sort of like greeny.
Yeah.
Colours, sort of nice pocket on this one. It's a bit different. Absolutely no label on this though. This is just like that. There's nothing on it at all. But again, it still fits great, you know. And something I've had probably for about 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
You can't beat a double-breasted jacket.
Yeah, I think they've got to be my faves. You know,
Yeah.
I love it. They just look so well when they're all open and shut.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my rack then. Everything I've got on there. Yeah.
So
A
Graham,
couple of ties there, like a couple of Lord John ones and sort of Kipper ones, and a nice. Yeah.
that's lovely.
It is.
So
Yeah. So thank you very much, Peter.
I'm thinking for the younger people that are watching this that are wanting to start, like formulating a collection like what you've got. What would your advice? What advice and tips have you got for fledgling person that's getting into the idea of the vintage clothing?
Still do the second-hand shops, and I still do them all the time whenever I can, because it's that sort of, you never know what's going to be in there or who's throwing away, and I tend to like go to affluent areas where the second-hand shops are because they throw away better gear out there.
Yeah.
So, but I tell you what, something I wish I'd done is learn how to sew to make my own clothes. I would have saved myself a fortune over the years. So I would say to anyone, like, take a wee sort of like sewing class, and get used to making your own stuff and getting, start making your trousers, your shirts yourself, your tops, and then you've got that individual look happening already and no one else has got.
That's a brilliant tip. That's a really...
Yeah, I wish I'd done it. I still think I should really just get the old sewing machine out and start doing some stuff.
Yeah.
But it would take years.
I think that in itself is a brilliant tip for the younger people that are interested by all this.
Or find a student who's willing to make some clothes for you, who's doing like a sell course or something like that, so because I've had a few things I've got made out of people because they've seen my style and said, can I make you a pair of trousers because I'm putting it in a show or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, go for it.
That's brilliant.
So this is just a small part of the collection that's upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure we could go through racks of it, and I'm sure there'll be loads of racks as well. So I'm looking forward to see what other people have got in the house as well.
Yeah.
How they've approached making the style.
Yeah.
Over the years.
Well, hopefully, with doing this new Q&A thing, we'll be able to. This is the whole point. What I'm hoping to you know, get into people's wardrobes. So it's kind of like, you know, I'm wanting to go into a closet rather than stepping out a closet.
Yeah,
that might be my pun.
But yeah, and you all love a nosy on everybody else's what you got in your cupboard. So, you know,
that's right, yeah. And hopefully, you know, these kind of things will inspire people.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to being inspired by other people's stuff as well, you know.
And the thing is, like, you're the first one, so which makes it really special. And I must say, Graham, you've been the perfect guest.
Yeah.
But
it's been fun. It really is. Yeah, we could probably talk for hours. But
oh yeah. Okay then, Graham. So have you got anything else you want to mention before we?
So, I think we've sort of went through everything there. So yeah, just thanks very much, and looking forward to seeing everybody else's cupboards and what they've got in their collections.
Brilliant, and I'm down the road as well. I'm hoping to do.
Yeah.
Now that we've got these. Hello, who's the?
This is yeah. It's just whatever you mentioned.
Hello. Don't bring it too close. I'm allergic to cats.
Not getting anywhere near this stuff either.
Yeah, because that, like, one of the ideas that I've got for a show down the line, which I'll definitely have you back for, is we're doing some kind of fun debates on who looks the best, which is the best boutique, you know, things like that, so we can all stand in our corner and argue our corners.
I'll stand with the Who flag.
Yeah. So, you know, things like that will be, you know, a bit of fun. So when I arrange one of them, I'll be sure to have you on.
Oh, I forgot to mention the shirt that I've actually got on, Peter. Was a Satoshi shirt.
And to the viewers out there that don't know who or what Satoshi is,
it's is it the Icarus file? It's called
Icarus mod file.
Yeah, is that what these companies called? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you make one Japan.
Yeah, Satoshi makes really beautiful clothing.
Some of the cloth that he gets, his sources, is absolutely gorgeous. You know.
Yeah. I'll on the thread for this when I upload it, I'll put a link to Satoshi because he makes wonderful clothing. Right then, Graham. I'll on that note, I'll say goodbye and I'll leave you to whatever you're doing this evening.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Peter. Good seeing you. And yeah.
Thank you very much, Graham. Take care.
Cheers.
Bye.
Take care.